Today we are here with Leslie Wardman, and she is the author of the Discernment Mirror. She's here to answer some questions specifically about in the intro and chapter one of the book. Welcome, Leslie.
Thank you, Kelly. It's good to be here.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I'm just going to jump right into questions that we're all wondering. Now, of course, Leslie also runs Ambiance Matchmaking. So a lot of these answers are going to parallel to the matchmaking business. She knows dating in today's culture better than anyone, not only in online dating, but also how matchmaking can can differ and really break through that noise. So, starting us off with question number one here. Leslie, you make a distinction between self-awareness and discernment. Most people assume those are essentially the same thing. Why are they different?
Yeah, they're actually different skills. Self-awareness is understanding yourself. Discernment is understanding what you're looking at. So you can be incredibly self-aware and still consistently choose people who aren't right for you. I have worked with clients who can articulate their attachment styles, their childhood patterns, their triggers, and their emotional wounds in remarkable detail. Yet they continue choosing partners based on attraction, fantasy, and potential rather than observable character. Self-awareness tells you what's happening inside of you. Discernment helps you accurately evaluate what's happening outside of you, and both really matter in relationships.
Interesting. Okay. Now, one of the strongest lines in the introduction is that modern dating doesn't reward discernment. It punishes it. What are some examples, excuse me, where doing the healthy thing actually makes someone less attractive in today's dating culture?
Yes, interesting question. I'd say in many ways, modern dating rewards immediacy rather than discernment. The
Mm,
people who move slowly, they're often labeled as, excuse me, as hesitant, and the person who asks thoughtful questions can be perceived as guarded. The person who waits to observe before investing emotionally may be told they're overthinking or being analytical. And meanwhile, intensity is often mistaken for a connection, more often than not, actually. One of the biggest mistakes I see is people confusing emotional activation with chemistry. And this is something very interesting that people don't typically think about necessarily, but someone creates uncertainty, inconsistency, or emotional highs and lows, and because the experience feels powerful, it's interpreted as meaningful. Discernment asks a different question. Not how strongly do I feel, but what am I actually seeing?
okay. Okay. But now you write discernment is the ability to choose based on pattern rather than intensity. So I guess I'm asking, why are people so vulnerable to confusing intensity with compatibility? And what does that look like in matchmaking clients?
Sure, this is a great conversation. I think intensity feels like information, and that's why people trust it. A powerful emotional experience creates the illusion that we know someone better than we do. But discernment isn't built on moments, it's built on patterns. Anybody can be extraordinary for a weekend, and character reveals itself over time. As a matchmaker, I've watched clients become deeply attached to a story about a person long before evidence ever existed to support that story. So, discernment is a discipline of allowing patterns to speak louder than feelings.
Okay, I think we're getting it here. So,
Rolling? Flowing? Okay, good.
yes, I think we're understanding. And you're making it very clear for those that haven't read the book, which everyone should. It's a phenomenal read. Um, Now, you describe modern dating as a crisis of judgment rather than a crisis of love. That's a provocative statement. What made you arrive at that conclusion?
Yeah, well, we don't have a love crisis. I mean, I believe we have a judgment crisis because people still want love.
Mhm.
You know, we still want and long for connection. We still want, a partnership. What has deteriorated, I think, is our ability to accurately evaluate what we're seeing. We're flooded with information, seriously flooded with information, options, and stimulation, yet many people struggle to distinguish compatibility from attraction, potential from reality, and attention from genuine investment. The breakdown in our capacity to love, it's our capacity to choose right.
One of the most fascinating ideas is that consequence used to train discernment. How did losing consequence change dating behavior?
I love this question. Well, I love it and I hate it at the same time. Historically, choices carried more consequences, and that doesn't mean the past was better. It just means decisions were often more deliberate. And then today, people can disappear without an explanation, reappear months later, maintain ambiguous relationship indefinitely, and continually postpone clarity. When consequence decreases, discernment often weakens. Ghosting, situationships, and perpetual ambiguity are symptoms of a culture that has become increasingly uncomfortable with accountability and decision making.
Great. And now, when it comes to judgment, now we're all taught not to judge, right? And you write within the book that judgment has become a dirty word associated with being rigid or closed-minded. Why do you think modern dating culture has become so uncomfortable with healthy judgment?
I would say the definition of judgment dating back as far as the Bible, I think it got twisted, but in reality, it's very valuable because somewhere along the way, we started confusing judgment with condemnation, you know. But healthy judgment isn't about superiority; it's about evaluation, and every healthy life requires judgment. Who do I trust? Who do I build with? What deserves my time? What doesn't? And discernment isn't the absence of compassion. It's compassion paired with clarity. The goal isn't becoming more critical, the goal is becoming more accurate.
I love that. Okay. And now you argue that AI can generate emotionally intelligent language without emotional intelligence. How should people protect themselves from mistaking sophisticated communication for genuine character?
Well, discernment. I mean, yes, turning into an era where emotionally intelligent language is becoming incredibly easy to generate. But language and character aren't the same thing. Someone can say all the right things and still lack integrity, consistency, accountability, or emotional maturity. As a matchmaker, I pay less attention to what people say and more attention to what remains consistent under pressure. Character lives in these patterns, and performance lives in presentation. Discernment is learning the difference.
Well said. And now, perhaps the most important line in the introduction is that discernment isn't just how you choose a partner, it's how you choose your life. How and when did you realize that this book was about more than dating?
Yeah. Well, at some point I realized I wasn't writing about relationships. I was writing about decisions, and every major outcome in life is shaped by what we repeatedly choose. And I'm paying so much attention to this. I'm hearing it like it seems like on a daily basis. And partners, friends, business opportunities, values, environments, the same discernment that helps you choose a healthy partner helps you choose a healthy life. Dating was simply a doorway. The deeper the subject was judgment, perception, and the consequence of how we choose.
Yes, absolutely. And now, Leslie, to kind of tie a bow around this introductory chapter, final question for you. If you had to choose one, would you rather your client have great chemistry with someone or great discernment about someone?
Well, once upon a time, I would have answered differently, but these days, hands down, after years of doing this and growing wisdom and seeing society evolve, it would definitely be discernment every single time because chemistry can help start a relationship, but discernment sustains it. Chemistry, it tells you what feels good, but discernment tells you what's true. And over a long time, truth is far more valuable than attraction alone.